and there was a video camera and a sense-off. We're married now.
You made an honest sense-off of him.
I've made an honest sense-off of him. Love just a standard way, you know. It's
Well, we didn't have a script though, did we? You and I.
We didn't have scripts. I mean, you know, all fairly normal except the fact that there was no script.
Well, there was a script, but then and you
away.
read the script and you turned up with all these kind of ideas of what you were going to do, and then the producer said to him, you know,
we threw that out this morning when I turned up. But you know, you meet on a project. I mean, for me, and I think it's different for each of us because it's different for each actor always. But for me, I met Kevin Murphy. Kevin Murphy was a big fan of a show I'd done in New Zealand, of all places, called Outrageous Fortune. That's Outrageous Fortune.
You can get it on Blu-ray or DVD, Amazon have it, and iTunes.
It's the naughtiest, most naughty show you'll ever see in your entire life. And Kevin had seen this show that nobody else in the United States had seen, which floored me, and he was a big fan of it. And I played a character in that show that he was really interested in. So I knew he knew something about a type of work I'd done that nobody else had seen really in the States, and he was really interested in that. So I knew what he wanted from me. And I was really interested in playing that more, that idea more, and exploring those areas more. So we kind of hit it off. To be completely honest, we didn't need a script. He spent an hour pitching me what the story was going to be, and I loved what the story was going to be and the dynamic in these relationships. And we went on a handshake. That was my experience. Jamie's was different.
My experience was what most auditions are for me, which is I learn the lines, I work really, really hard on them, try and do my best job, go in, get really, really panicky, have a panic attack, try and say the lines before I rush out of the room, all hot and shaking and blushing, and then decide that I'm going to give up acting until I get the call to say I've got the job. That's what happened with Defiance as well, yeah.
By the way, being an actor is awesome.
I cried into my pillow and then they called me.
I think I can relate to that. I think, yeah, I was lucky Kevin also knew something I'd done called Mirror Mask that he'd seen me in, so that helped definitely. But I put it on tape, and I remember I actually had quite an alien haircut at the time. I remember it started up here and it slanted down, so I think that definitely helped. But putting it on tape and speaking to the guys over Skype and then retaping as well, and it was all very nerve-wracking because the more I taped, the more I loved the character, and there's always that attachment and that kind of hope, and sometimes you get the call and sometimes you don't, and so I'm so glad I got it. Yeah. So.
By the way, just as a complete side note, none of you will probably know this, but when you go for a television series or many movies, you know, the expression "screen test" is actually a thing. With a big studio picture, what will happen is they'll do all your makeup, put you in the costume, proper costume, and put you opposite the other actor and do the scene as if you were shooting the movie at the very, very end. If you're very, very close to getting the job, they want to see how it would actually be in the cinema with another actor. In television, you do a studio test, and what happens is like the last three to five actors on every role, they come in and they all test for the role. It's horrible because you can see the other actors, and sometimes you know them, and you know you might all have kids or partners or mortgages, and you also know that too. So you know, one of us is going to rob the other one of this job. But anyway, you all kind of go up for the job on the same day, in with the same people, and there's this huge panel of people, many of them just business people, lawyers and business affairs and all that, and they're the worst audience you'll ever get in your life because their job is to give you nothing when you audition. They don't want to give
no
you
hope.
No hope. They don't want to give you false hope. They don't want to mislead you and make you think.
They don't want to make eye contact.
So they just ignore you effectively through the whole process.
Oh, it's great when you do a comedy and no one laughs.
Nobody laughs. Testing is the worst experience a human being can have without physical torture involved.
Yeah.
So what was amazing about Steph Leonidas was I was in on the tests when they were testing for most of the roles. I was sitting in there with the network, and Steph's test was on video screen. Now normally as an actor that's the kiss of death, because the person who comes in live with all that energy and they can actually see gets the job. Stephanie Leonidas' audition was so bloody good that hers was the only one on a TV screen and she was the one that got the job.